Hey everyone. So today I want to do a quick tutorial on box breathing, but with really the focus being leading you through a box breathing practice. So I believe that most people know what box breathing is. I think we would now in our culture, we tend to do it automatically because we've heard the term so much. You picture a box, and we'll talk about that in a second. Um, but I also think there's a need to have tutorials on walking you through it, like a practice of just, hey, everybody, save this to your phone, your device, whatever. And if you are having a stressful moment, just be like, hey, box breathing with Jen Weir, let's go. 5 minutes of absolute connecting with your breath, calming down, and being able to be your best self and go and do the things that you need to do for that day. Okay. So I mentioned that box breathing is literally what it sounds like. You can picture a box, right? It goes up, you take your breath, you hold it over here, you exhale, you rest for a count of four, right? We do up, over, down, here. It's like a square. That's how I picture it in my mind. And it helps when I'm working through that. I almost like if I watch myself, I almost think of I'm going like this, like up, over, down, and breathe. Not that you don't probably don't want to do that. You just want to be chill and relax. But in my mind, I picture myself going over, up, down and around. Okay. So box breathing is, as I just mentioned, you inhale, but what you want to do is make sure you're inhaling for a count of four. And then you want to hold it at the top. I like to say at the top because I picture all of my air coming up to the surface, right? We start down here at the belly. I'll get to that in a minute. And I'm bringing it up to the top as high as I can. And then I hold it for four. And then I exhale for four. And then I normal breathe for four, like probably like a one inhale or two inhale, exhale up, again. And then we start the process over again. And when you do this four times, right, three to four, I like to do it four because in my mind, I'm like, it's a one for every side of the box. What you'll notice is that your nervous system begins to calm down. Everything else, even your digestive system. So if you're having like an upset situation, I find that box breathing does help calm the stomach unless you have like some, I don't know, massive malfunction. But for the most part, it really does help. You get bad news or you're feeling stressed at work. You're trying to even working on a project where I need extra creativity in what I'm doing. I find that box breathing really helps because I'm connecting with my breath for it probably ends up being about 5 minutes. And I'm forgetting about the tension of, I need a creative idea. All of a sudden, because I've just opened up my breath and my mind is super calm, the ideas start flooding in. So think about this, like when you are in a creative aspect, rather, like in that scenario, trying to figure out an answer or something, even not necessarily like a creative thing, but you have a financial situation and you're trying to figure out the answer. What am I going to do? Taking some time to connect with your breath helps you remove yourself from the negative situation. Breathing, you release all the feel good endorphins, all of them, right? And you release any kind of negative frequency or energy in your body by breathing it all out. Then you're able to be in a place where you can actually receive an answer. So many times we don't get the answer because we've been like hitting it so hard trying to get it that we actually repel the answer. And if you're a believer in God like I am, sometimes God's like, I'm trying to tell you the answer, but you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off and you can't even hear me. So when you take some time and just box breathe and meditate on truth and even just meditate on your breath, the answer comes. And so let me walk you through a tutorial of it, and then we'll spend a few minutes doing an actual breath work practice with the box breathing. Okay. So you want to have your feet on the floor if possible, right? If you are I don't know, laying down. I guess you can do that too. This is really more for an like a intentional breath work. So sit comfortably wherever you are. And if you're in a place where you need to stand, that's good too. It's just you want to make sure you're centered. Does that make sense? So a lot of times when I can sit down, my sit bones are even, my shoulders are back and straight, my spine is on alignment. When I'm standing, sometimes it's a little harder to do that. You can do it, but it's preferable. I'm just this is the world according to Jen Weir. P.S. So don't be like, well, Jen said, no, no, no. This is my technique. It's your technique, your practice. You do it as you like. I'm just sharing what I like to do. So I sit down, feet on the floor, and I relax. That is absolutely the best. So shoulders back, head up, right? So that you can bring everything up easily. Then, before you start breathing, place your hands on your abdomen. Just notice, where is my breath going? Where is it coming from? Being really, really aware of how you're breathing. Many times when we choose to do a breathwork practice, it's out of necessity versus when we've actually had this, okay, this is my intentional practice. So as you begin to do an intentional practice, you will naturally just go, yep, I'm breathing right here. But when you do it out of necessity, you might go, wait, where's my, oh yeah, it's up here. You find your breath is here. You go, okay, come on, everybody, calm down. So that's why I tell everyone, put your hands here. Where's your breath? Find it. It might sound silly, but trust me when I say, when we're in necessity mode, we have to force it and intentionally go, breath, you need to come back to where you belong, not up here. This is fight or flight. This is chill, cool vibes, high vibe energy coming in, hearing from God, hearing from what you need to, not running away. Okay. So now that you know where your breath is coming from, you're going to just breathe normally. Just a couple, it close down your eyes if you're comfortable with that. If you're not, especially if you're driving, like let's not. Um, but if you're comfortable, just close down your eyes, soften your gaze, even just looking down and just notice, taking a couple breaths in, just notice. Okay, just notice what that feels like. Instead of like we were up here, now we're going, okay, yeah. And what you'll notice is your hands rise and fall. I think as women, especially, at least me, I was programmed all through childhood to like suck in your stomach. Don't show anybody that little poochy belly. 5 kids later, we're in the 2020s. Like I'm letting it all hang out because that's where my breath is. Okay. Now, what you're going to do is you will take a deep inhale and you will keep your hands here. If you want, keep one hand here to notice, is my breath coming from up here or am I intentionally able to keep it down here? Either way, your practice. Take a deep inhale breath, a count of 4. You're going to hold it and then exhale and then relax for a count of 4. And you'll do it again. Inhale, hold, exhale. Now, some people will say when you box breathe that you want to inhale through the nose, hold it, and then exhale through the nose. That's not my preference. And here's why. I have no scientific backing. I'm just telling you, again, this is my practice, the world according to Jen Weir, as far as box breathing goes. I prefer to breathe it out with my mouth versus my nose because whenever I do box breathing, I am 99% of the time doing it with the intention of releasing trapped emotions. So just a minute on trapped emotions. Many times we can pull those up and out, especially because we have now chosen to sit down, relax, and intentionally breathe and connect to our breath. With trapped emotions, they naturally just pull up. And so I, in my mind, want to see them just get out. I don't need you anymore. I don't even know why you're here, but you got to go. So that's why I do it that way. Again, it's your practice. You do it how you choose. But again, for me, when I am now intentionally box breathing, let me back up. When I do my practice, I will set an intention. Today, my intention is, especially if I do it in the evening, what emotion is most pestering me now before bed? What emotion is going to hinder me from getting excellent sleep? So some people maybe choose to pray and ask the Lord, you know me better than I know myself. What do you see me as holding on to that I don't even know? For those of you who just want to look inward and ask yourself, your subconscious mind will happily go, ooh, ooh, me, I got something for you. And your subconscious mind will be happy to tell you. So either way, but that's why I like to exhale with my mouth versus in my nose. If you see my tutorial with the nostril breathing, if I just want to do like nose breath work stuff, I'll just do that. But for box breathing, that's what I choose to do. Okay. So now I'm going to walk you through a box breathing practice. And I encourage you to save this video and stop it right here at this minute so that you can know, like save it to your notes, save at, whatever, 5 minutes or however long this has been, so that you can jump back in and have someone help you do the box breathing practice, especially, let me encourage you on this one. If you want to take some time and with intention, do a box breathing practice, like in the morning, in the evening, I would encourage you to set your intention, carve out some time, and make sure that you are doing that. That way, eventually it becomes second nature. So when you're in a stressful situation, you're able to go, oh, box breathing. You don't even need to go to YouTube, right? You don't need to connect here. You can do it on your own. So they say, in the military, the fire department, police, they all practice for crisis situations in times where there is no crisis. And that is why I cannot stress enough practicing with intention this type of breath work is key when you are not stressed because it will become second nature. And if you ever want to do an aromatherapy, aroma freedom technique practice with me, you can always find me on my website. But I would encourage you to even do that so that you know what it's like to release the negative emotions with intention, so that when you get in a crisis situation, you're like, I've done this before. I know how to do this with absolute ease. Okay, so let's begin. We don't want to take too much of your time in doing this. Now, remember, feet on the floor, we'll relax, hands on your belly, breathe normally for a minute or a couple breaths. Okay, let's begin. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold it at the top, 3, 4. Exhale it all out. Okay, now breathe for a count of 4, 2. Okay, now we're going to do it again. Inhale, hold it, exhale it all out. And then breathe normal. Breathe in, exhale, exhale. My apologies. Did you hear that? I said exhale. You're probably like, wait, okay. Let's redo our third practice or our third breath. Ready? Inhale, hold it, exhale. There we go. Last time. Inhale as deep as you can. Hold. Exhale it all out. A forceful one would be great. Perfect. Now you can return to your breath. And if you want to keep doing that, if you maybe feel like you're getting some release, but you want to do that again and just keep going because you're thinking, well, that was only 2 or 3 minutes. Let's go for a 5-minute breath practice. Perfect. Keep going. Keep connecting to your breath. I would recommend that in between your 4 breaths, 3 to 4 breaths that you do, that you take a minute to just breathe normally. Maybe take like a, whew, a little inhale, shake it off, redo the practice again where you connect, just so that you don't get yourself lightheaded, right? At least again, that's what I like to do. Just go connecting. Okay, my intention now is to do it another set, another round. And once I begin to feel all the tension fly away and any kind of negative emotion that I might have been holding somewhere in here, when I feel it's pretty muchly gone, then I can go to sleep or I can go begin my day. Another time I forgot to mention that is a great time to do a breathwork practice is before you get in the shower. And here's why. When you get in the shower, it is I like to think of it as like a ritual cleansing. I wash off the day's nonsense, or I am waking up, or, if I've had a rough night's sleep, I'm washing off the whatever sleep stuff. So I do like to think about it as just like getting any kind of emotion off, anything that doesn't serve me, right? You think about it like in the physical, you're washing off dirt, oil, grease, whatever. In the emotional and spiritual, it's good to just hop in the shower, and just get it all off. One of the things I really enjoy doing too, if I have ever connected with somebody and it is not a good interaction and I don't know, they just, how some people just throw their ick on you and you're like, get it off, get it off. I will go and wash my hands and just more than the 20 seconds and just maybe with some warm water and just clean it and really do this while I'm breathing. And then when I'm all done, it's like just wring it out and everybody is happy. So that's just a little extra tip. I hope you enjoyed that box breathing tutorial and practice. And I am hoping and praying that you continue that journey. I'll see you next time.